I'm Britton Brown,
I'm Rick Krebs.
and this is U.S. Bike Racing News.
Today we are interviewing pro cyclist with Elevate KHS, Connor Brown.
Today we're talking with Connor Brown, pro cyclist with Elevate KHS. Connor recently won the Chico Stage Race, the San Dimas Stage Race, and in full disclosure, there's some serious nepotism going on here. So, with that said, thanks Connor for gracing us with your presence.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks again for coming in and sitting down with us, Connor. We really appreciate it. You had a great start on 2017. What do you attribute that success to?
In the past, I've come into the season really soft and gotten my butt kicked and my teeth kicked down my throat. And I've always been like, what can I do to get better? What can I do?
What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong exactly? Because for so long I've been on the burner. And it feels so good to come into the season for once and be the one that is doing the burning.
Yeah.
And
dishing out the pain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I contribute that to a well-run team at Elevate. This is one of the most, organized teams that I've been a part of. I have a fantastic coach with Source Endurance. He's put in so much energy and time into me. And it's really come and shown itself throughout the race season so far. So
Yeah, we're talking about Adam Mills, of course.
absolutely,
Yeah,
great guy.
and it's a team sport.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah,
a team
totally.
sport. All the way down from the masseuse
Yeah,
to the mechanic
yeah,
to your sponsors,
great
your
staff.
directors.
everything.
I mean, the whole thing. It's really it's not just the bike racers. They make your life easier
Right.
and better so that you can focus on bike racing.
So many little
Yeah.
things go into it.
Yeah, it really helps. Has to. Yeah.
So you killed it at San Dimas, killed it at Chico. You come into Joe Martin.
Yeah.
What went wrong there?
It just I could kind of tell that I was starting to
Joe Martin hates you.
Yeah,
He
You
just
don't
hates
have the
you.
best record as Joe
Yeah,
Martin.
it's always been a love-hate relationship with it. I go there and I always have high hopes.
It's a great race.
It's a great race. Fantastic.
It really is, and it's right up your alley. The
Yeah,
climb, I mean,
the time trials
the hard road race stages.
Oh yeah.
The hard crit. It's right in your wheelhouse, and it's just
It
damn
never
for
seems
luck.
to go your way.
Damn for luck.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. I just can't ever pin it down. That race, and you're always gonna have one of those races where it just always seems to evade you. And you just one day you're gonna get it, and it's gonna feel so great when you do, but you just gotta keep jumping
Yeah,
back
but
on
you
the horse.
you had a bad crash, right?
Yeah,
in this race, right?
stage 2. The Friday road race
Yeah.
after the time trial. There's always
You
this
had an
one
okay
corner.
time trial.
Yeah,
Not your best. Could have done better, but the stage race you crashed. And,
Right. It's
cost
such
you
a
some
hard time
time.
trial to pace these days because it's all with the switchbacks. But
Mhm.
I was just off the pace that day, and you're gonna have time trials like that. But the road course, obviously going down, it obviously takes the momentum and the energy out of you to want to go and take risks again when you already got wounds on you.
Clobbered.
Yeah. It's just why go stick the wheel in places it shouldn't be anymore when you already got bit. So
Yeah. Well, Robin Carpenter pulled it off and took an awesome win on Sunday and took the whole thing.
yeah, fantastic rider. Yeah, class act.
Yeah.
Fantastic rider.
So, all right, let's move into Gila.
Yeah.
So we came into Gila. You were pretty pumped about it. Catch a cold the week before. You think you're okay, and
Yeah, cycling's all about the ups and downs, and I've had great ups this year, and obviously after Joe Martin, I was looking to bounce back, but you get these things sometimes, and I ran into the Gila, and I just kept high hopes that maybe I would get better, and by the end of it, I could regain that strength that I needed to do well in it, and it just never came. But that's racing, so it just happens.
So you're a little sick right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're on recovery. So what are you doing to, you've got to stay at that high racing level, okay? That's clear. What are you doing to recover but still maintain that
Yeah, we talk
high
about
level?
recovery all the time, and the fact that probably most amateurs, those up and coming racers, they don't put enough emphasis on recovery. Now you're in a situation where you're not feeling well. You're wheezing when you breathe. You got to get recovered, but you don't want to, like he was saying, you don't want to lose your base. So maybe we can give somebody a tip at the same time, and what are you doing?
So I've been running around a lot this year, and I think at this point it's time for a bit of a break. And I've been lucky enough to have, like I said before, a great support staff around me and a great coach. And I just tell him what's going on with me, and he puts together a good game plan. And right now it's a lot of just going out and ride, and not really focus on high intensity, but just endurance and making sure the body's properly recovered, because I still am on the brink of entering the next half of the season, and there's plenty of races left on the table.
Yeah.
Right,
So Redlands was a big target for you. Your team's off to Redlands next week. What's your new focus? I mean, what are you thinking?
I really wanted to target Redlands this year. I thought it was a good course setup for me, and obviously with time trialing, it would have been a good run for me. But you just got to reevaluate when it doesn't work out for you. And I've been lucky enough to have great guys, and unfortunately, I feel like almost everybody on the team's a little run down. And I wish the best of luck to the guys at Redlands, and hope that everything goes well for them.
Yeah. Well, you got some big hitters. They can score some stage victories there and make the most out of it. I know it just stinks for you, and you kind of feel like you're letting some guys down, but at the same time, you got to do what's right for you and your body, so you recover.
Well, and for the team too. I mean, you go out there and you're not well, you can't perform. And you give another rider another chance, because I guess they got to field 5 or 8 guys in that race or whatever. So that's a positive.
Right.
I'm sure, and you got to get well. So that's just part of it.
So Winston-Salem's coming up.
Yeah, big one. Every year I've gotten progressively better at that race, and I feel like this year could be a good opportunity for me with that climb. And I feel like I'm just explosive enough that it might be a good course for me. And I'm just starting to prepare for it. It's a long road ahead to it, and I got a lot of time. But like I said, I have a great game plan coming up for it, so I'm gonna stick to it.
Cool.
All right, that sounds great.
Red Hook's coming up.
Red Hook. This Red Hook stuff is hot. Okay, tonight, Brooklyn, they're racing the final series. They do these qualifiers during the day. They're doing it, in Brooklyn. They're doing it right now. They race on these fixed gear bikes, no brakes, twisty, turny course. It's edgy, it's dicey. It's
fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. It's nighttime. They're going to do the nighttime crit at 7:30 Central Time tonight. They'll probably be posting it live somewhere, I would imagine. Big promotion in it, big money, big crowds. What do you see them doing, better or different than, what we do with our crits? It seems like the regular U.S. crits, not as big crowds, not as much money, promotion, excitement into it, is certainly this Red Hook series, which, they're going to different countries too, Milan and UK and these other places. There's a series with it. What's your take on it?
And in fairness, we know you don't race it,
Yeah,
but it seems to be exploding.
Maybe it's something you would want to do, though. I don't know. But first, what's your take on this whole
What can
series?
cycling in general learn as we promote the sport and try to get the bigger fan base and more money, perhaps? And I don't know.
It's super trendy right now, and I think what the sponsors have done. Obviously they've pumped a ton of money in that. It's always going to help. but I think the thing that's really helping it out is the location. They have like the best location for it. You know, it's surrounded by tons of people.
Venue.
You know,
The
the
venue's
venue's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you look at races like Tulsa Tough that have done it really successfully, and then
Yeah.
you look at them incorporating that into their formula for success, and then you know it's turned out to be a fantastic
Yeah,
race,
it's not
you know?
not a small town,
Oh, not at all.
town,
Right.
Midwest
The
town
drawing
type thing.
the
It's
crowds.
a big city,
Right.
edgy type of
Right.
environment.
They're drawing the crowds. You know, I feel like they figured out that this fixie trend is starting to blow up, and more people are getting into cycling through it.
Well, I know a lot of different pro cyclists have gone and done these races, and
It's good money, you know.
yeah,
Like
it's good money. They pay out high, and
some guys
you
are
know,
like contractors.
maybe someday.
You know, you know. I don't know. It looks awfully dangerous, and you know, I have.
You're a
no-
road racer.
Yeah, I'm a roadie. You know, I don't like to put my skin on the line for stuff like that. But you know, there's guys like your Holloways and your crit guys that just love to go out and do stuff like that. And those crit guys, they go where the money goes. You know,
Yeah.
so you're gonna draw the big names when you start throwing down the cash.
Yeah.
So it's just it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, as we wrap this up, I want to play a little game with you.
Okay.
5 questions. What I want you to do is answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Number 1. Best guy in the peloton to draft behind.
Ooh. Okay.
You're on a timer.
Dude.
Corey Lockwood for me. I sit behind
Name
my team.
4 guys that you'd want to be in the break with.
Be in the break.
Best 4 guys.
Best 4 guys.
That you'd want to be in the break
Well, obviously Robin Carpenter. Next, you probably want a rally guy, Evan Huffman. What is that? That's 2. Somebody from United Healthcare. Let's say Lachlan Norris.
with. Just because United Healthcare makes sense, so they don't chase you.
Right. Yeah. You gotta have.
So
a
you're
good
putting
combo.
together the perfect
the
freaking
perfect
break.
formula. Yeah. You gotta have all the
There's
hitters.
tactics in
Yeah.
that pro race. Isn't
Right.
it? It's not just about strength. Smartest guy doesn't always win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think my last guy would be who else am I missing? Maybe Kyle Murphy, sure, for Silence. Yeah. Great rider, cool guy.
Who's the most aggressive guy in the in your pro peloton?
Man,
Most aggressive.
well, sometimes it's right now Paco Mancebo's back in the mix, and he's always just
Attacking.
he's
likes to
crazy.
attack.
He tries to get away whenever he can, and then obviously Carpenter is a menace to society in the peloton, and he'll go eventually, and everybody, every one of your heavy hitters eventually will try and give it a crack. But
I think you'll make a great politician someday. First thing on your mind, quickest answer, and we get a long, drawn-out conversation out of it. Last one, who's your favorite dad?
well, I think that's easy because I only have one, so obviously.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for viewing. Make sure you subscribe, share. Let's get the love out there, and let's do what we can to promote the sport of cycling. I'm Britton Brown.
I'm Rick Krebs.
And I'm guest Connor Brown.